So a few days ago, I made a video talking about Sony's decision to make a Madam Web movie. To expand on it even more, they want to make a female-centric Madam Web movie, whatever that means. I don't know what does that mean, female-centric? So it's going to be a sitcom? I don't even know what that means. But apparently that's the words they're using to describe it, which I'm sure will be a really big and successful decision, because anytime language like that is used, it's always a big blockbuster. I'm saying that sarcastically, but anyway, that product is not this. So the speculation was Madam Web, and people keep talking about that. I think it probably is going to be Madam Web. This is something different. This is Jackpot. So before I get into this, Sony is on this big quest to make their own MCU. They want to take all of the Spider-Man characters that they can and create a shared universe, because they're trying to, cash in on the idea of that it's Marvel characters, and, they have the rights to them. They can do whatever they want to them. So they're going to make an MCU, but in Sony, the Sony MCU. It's a terrible idea, but that's what they're going to do. Because they had one hit with Venom, who's, an interesting character that people like, they're going to now go ahead and make tons of movies that people probably aren't going to like as well. But maybe they will like them. I don't know. The Morbius trailer looks pretty good, but how interesting will that movie be? We'll find out soon enough. I think that movie comes out next year. The production, I'm sure, was delayed. But Jackpot. Who's Jackpot? Well, she's a character even lesser known than Morbius. She appeared after One More Day, the very, very controversial Spider-Man storyline where Spider-Man and Mary Jane's marriage gets nullified by Mephisto. If you think that sounds stupid, it's because it is, and people are still mad about it. But I think it's been over a decade since that decision was done. They've recently gotten back together in the comics. They're not married, they're just dating. And Jackpot popped out a little bit after that terrible decision to cancel the marriage. A lot of people speculated that it was Mary Jane because she's very fit. There's a picture of her to the right, and she has red hair. So the big rumor was, oh, that's Mary Jane. She's a superhero now. It turned out to be not the case. She hasn't really been around since around the time after she first came out. She didn't really resonate very well. They tried to give her own book, and no one really cared about her. I don't even think she's been around since then. Pretty sure she's just kind of faded into nothing, like a lot of characters do. But they're going to make a movie about her, because why not? They have the rights to her, so make a movie with Jackpot. And, you can put the Marvel logo on it, and people will rush in to see the movie, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? It could be a good movie. Only time will tell on that one. But other than that, that's really the story in itself. Marc Guggenheim is going to script the film. Now, a little story on her is she is I don't know if she's a single mom or not, but she's a mom who has superpowers, and her baby is born, and with addition to being a new mom, she has superhuman strength and is forced to save her family. That's a little bit of the backstory here. And there a little bit more. She ends up retiring. Somebody else takes over the mantle. She has to take a mutant growth hormone to continue being the superhero, because, she didn't have powers, and she ends up getting taken out while teaming up with Spider-Man. And then this character who's guilt-ridden because the woman that she gave the suit to passed away, so she takes the mantle back up because she's, got a lot of guilt. It's actually, an interesting idea for a movie if that's how they decide to go about it. But, we'll see. This isn't the problem, though. This is not the problem. The problem is that Marc Guggenheim is writing the film. He's a man, and we can't have men writing women. So naturally, people a little upset about that. People a little angry. And as you can see, we finally get a movie about a superhero mom and a man is writing it. Marc Guggenheim is writing Sony's Jackpot movie. What about The Incredibles? Mrs. Incredible. Wasn't she a superhero mom? What about Miss Fantastic? What about Susan Yeah, she's a superhero mom. She doesn't count. Oh, it's because it's not a single mom. I'm sorry. I don't remember if Jackpot was single, to tell you the truth. I don't remember if she had a husband or not. So I guess the difference would be then that it's a superhero mom with a non-superpowered husband. Oh, okay, I gotcha. It doesn't matter that it's a mom and a family, and that it's a family that fights crime. It has to be explicitly a female superhero that has a depowered husband and a kid. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I mean, it's just stupid, some of these petty things that these people latch onto, but nonetheless, they do. And she's going to get a movie, but because a man is writing it, it's a problem. You know, why is it only a problem when a man writes it, when a man writes a female, but if a female writes a male, it's not a big problem? It's such a double standard, but it exists. It exists. And, of course, they're going to whine and complain about it, and we will be here to laugh at it every single time. So, in their ongoing efforts to mine the Spider-Man universe for more content, Sony Pictures announced plans to develop a movie around superheroine Jackpot. The studio has hired Marc Guggenheim, Arrow, Troll Hunters, to write the script. Hiring him makes sense on a number of levels. The prolific comic book author has written for Aquaman, Amazing Spider-Man, and Superman Batman. He also co-created Arrow and Legend of Tomorrow and worked as the showrunner on both series. Oh, so it's going to be a lot of talking in hallways and love triangles and all kinds of stuff. It actually has, it actually might work for women, maybe. We'll see. But I don't know if that means he's going to be perfect for it. On paper, it sounds good because you have a lot of comic book properties. We'll see. I like how they praise him right at the start. Yeah, this is a good decision by Sony, but he's got the wrong junk in the trunk. So we got to get rid of him. We got to bring in somebody else. How about Dana Schwartz, right? She got all the right messaging. You know, men are garbage, men are trash. That's perfect. I mean, that's really the perfect job application for today. It's not having stuff like this, you know, that you've written and worked in comic books. It's really, do you have the right tweets? Excuse me, all right, your application is good, sir, but let me see your Twitter history. Is it really up to par? Is that really, do you have the experience we're looking for? Okay, all right, several tweets about comics. But what about men? Are men trash, Mark? Can you please answer that question for me? But, you know, Dana Schwartz, hi, I see you've worked on documentaries. No real TV experience. Never really handled a high-budget property. Oh, but you think men are trash? Perfect, Dana, you're hired. I want you on everything. That's really what it seems like to me. Like, when I see people like that on high production stuff, like, she has no business writing She-Hulk. She's never written anything other than, one comic book, Rescue, which she did recently, probably just to give her something under her belt before she goes and writes She-Hulk. But hey, you know, men are trash, so why not? Let's give her a Disney Plus series. You know, if she had written a couple comic books before she got that movie or that TV show, I would say, oh, okay, well, you know, at least she's got this. But she got that Rescue book, as far as I can tell. If you don't know who Rescue is, that's Pepper Potts in an Iron Man suit. But anyway, she got that book before or after she got announced for She-Hulk. So, and I could be wrong there, but they're so close together that obviously they gave her that right after they announced her or whatever. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like to me. I could be wrong there, but the fact of the matter is she had no television experience whatsoever, no real movie experience. All of her experience was nothing but documentaries. But she puts out a couple Men Are Trash tweets. Boom. She's working for Disney on MCU projects. So anyway, she first appeared in 2007's Free Comic Book Day. Spider-Man swing shift pregnant scientist Sarah E. Hart, who works in an Oscorp subsidiary, is experimenting with gene therapy when she's accidentally exposed to a Lot 777 virus. After that, it rewrites her DNA. Sarah gives birth to her daughter Madeline and develops super strength. She then joins the initiative and juggles being a superhero with being a mom. And then it goes into the rest of it that I already kind of went over. I don't even think this would be in the movie because they would do an origin. So you would just see her juggling being a mom and a superhero. You wouldn't see her pass the mantle over until maybe the end of the movie. And then the sequel, if it was good enough to get one, would deal with the person that she passes the mantle to, and then the third movie would be her coming back. That would be my guess. And that's actually an interesting trilogy. If it's entertaining enough and it does well enough, that would actually be fun to watch, maybe. But we'll see. But anyway, after complaining about that, does Guggenheim have the chops to bring Jackpot to the big screen? Undoubtedly. But this isn't a criticism of his work. But come on, could they really not find a woman screenwriter to pen a female-led superhero movie? Or what about hiring a mother to pen the first superhero mom? Again, I'm not here to slam Guggenheim, who's a terrific writer and creator, but the fact that Sony won't hire a woman to write this film is a slap in the face to women screenwriters everywhere. Maybe they did look at some. You don't know. What if people submitted scripts and his was the best one? There is no merit. And I like how they're, let's hire a mom. Let's just hire a mom to write it. Doesn't matter if she has any experience. Odds are they're going to take this guy's script anyway, right? We're going to take this guy's script and rewrite it several times. Okay, he'll make first draft, and then the director and producers will grab it, and they will rewrite the hell out of it. So I find this funny. It's just the same old thing. Like, you're not allowed. And it only accounts for women and POC. If it's a guy, it doesn't matter. Anybody, particularly if it's a white dude, anybody can write that. Doesn't matter. But if you're a Spanish single mother who lives, let's say the Bronx, you need to get a Spanish single mom who lives in the Bronx to write that character. Nobody can do research anymore. You don't do that. That's how it used to be. You would research something and then write it. No, you need to get the specific characteristics for said character to write said character. It's really ridiculous. And then you need that specific type of person to direct it, produce it. It's like, let's just go and just pluck everybody out. Every single Spanish woman, single mother that lives in the Bronx to write her. It's a weird thing that they do. And I'll never understand. Now, to Hollywood's credit, they don't totally go this far, this nonsense route to make things. They do to a point nowadays, but not to the extremes of outlets like the Mary Sue would want. I find it all pretty hilarious. So that's their argument, that it needs to be a single lady mom. And I don't remember if she was single or not, to be honest. I don't remember. I just think it's funny, Oh, you need to get a female mom to come write this character. That's the only way it's going to be good, people. Come on, why is Mark writing this? He never said men are trash, sir. So that's pretty much it. Will this movie be any good? I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out, won't we? Because they're going to definitely make it. They're going to make as many Spider-Man-centric movies as they possibly can until the genre of comic book movies dies out, because Sony wants to milk that cash cow as hard as they can. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure this one's coming. I'm sure that weird Madam Web movie is coming as well. I guess, how's Morbius going to be? If Morbius is good, then maybe they can make these work. That's really what I want to see, because that's the first one coming. Morbius is the first obscure character, though he's not that obscure if you're a fan of Spider-Man. I say that more as he's the more he's a more non-mainstream character like Jackpot. Venom is pretty mainstream. I had no doubts that movie would not work. I knew it would work. This movie I don't know about. We'll see. Like I said, if Morbius is good, I'll have a little more faith in their ability to craft movies that aren't like heavily Spider-Man involved. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We'll see how this works out. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about all this? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, throw a like up, share the video. Those are all important things. Also, make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.